What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Unruly Podcast with your hosts, Sticks and Evan.
Howdy.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A lot of blown calls this weekend, which just ruins the game. And, just as the people saying the NFL, NBA, sports are just a script in general. But, yeah, let's talk about it. Eagles demolished the 49ers, went with no quarterback. How do you feel about Joe Johnson having to play?
It's just unfortunate, dude. Like you're on your third string quarterback and you're in the NFC Championship game. That's sick. And then smell ya to your UCL. It's just like that's like one of the more unfortunate seasons that I've ever seen from a really good team,
Yeah,
But
for sure.
it is what it is. It's part of the game. And it fucking honestly, I'd say if Joe Johnson doesn't fumble the ball on the drive towards the end of the half, they could tie the game, and it looks like it could be a game. But he fumbles, they go down 2 scores, and it's kind of game over. And then obviously he gets hurt, and they can only run the ball, so there's only so much you can do. It's just unfortunate, sucks.
Yeah, I was kind of dumbfounded because I just left the game to do something real quick, and I saw that Brock Purdy wasn't in. I was like, the fuck? And then they were like, oh, his wrist hurts, or his wrist is got hurt, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So they're on their 4th string quarterback now of the season, if we're including Trey Lance week 1, Jimmy G, and then we're on Brock Purdy who's rolling. And then gets hurt. Now we're on Joe Johnson, who's been in the league, I think they said 10 years.
Yeah, that dude's been around the block.
I think they said 15 teams. Literally been around half the block. And apparently there's reports going around saying that he just literally was like, oh, just not ready. Like the coach was like, oh, you don't have to worry about it, which is really on them. I mean, you still have to think, oh, every week, especially if you're the backup, oh, I might play this week, especially considering the season they've had. But at the same time, it's kind of on the coaches being like, no, you got to be ready just in case.
Yeah.
But it's definitely unfortunate. I mean, maybe with Brock Purdy in there, they actually have a shot. We are having a different game, even if the Eagles win. Maybe it's by a cheap shot, field goal at the end, instead of it just demolition, where it's didn't even look like they came to play, but you never know. That's the uncertainty of sports.
It sucks that you can't chalk up any of those injuries to bad old line. They have one of the better old lines in the league, and it's not all of those injuries. Trey Lance, he's just scrambling, trying to get as much yards as he can, and then fucking gets rolled up on, breaks his ankle. Jimmy G gets sacked on a normal play, breaks his fucking foot, and the Brock Purdy thing wasn't anything. It's just freak injuries. That's the worst part. It's it's not anyone's fault. It's just football stuff.
Well, on the Purdy play, they actually had, I think it was their 3rd string tight end blocking for Hassan Reddick, which makes no sense, which is kind of why it happened. But I mean, we call Kyle Shanahan one of the best play callers in the game for a reason. Maybe he had a plan, and obviously you don't expect that shit to happen, but it ended up happening. It kind of screwed their season.
Even from when Brock Purdy was in, the defense was just playing not normal 49ers defense, and then just giving up stupid penalties. That team, they were getting penalized unreal in the first half.
Yeah.
And all of them were bad calls. There was obviously that was a normal game mix of good calls and bad calls. But they were just getting penalized like crazy. You'd think they'd get off the field, and then they would give up a penalty on a 3rd down. It was just that. The defense was just. I think once the defense saw Brock Purdy go out, they just kind of fucking packed it in.
Yeah, they just mailed it in.
Yeah.
But not to take this away from the Eagles, they did have a great team, a great season. They kind of deserve to be here. Obviously, nobody really deserves it, but they played their way into it. 69 points in the past 2 games. Nice. But hey, what can I say? Jalen Hurts, from what we've seen from college, I remember watching him get benched for Tua. I thought he was going to be ass. I'll be real. I thought he was going to be so bad. And then even when the Eagles got him, I was like, he'll maybe be the second best quarterback in the division, but that's not saying much considering our division is pretty bad. And now it's looking like he's already the best quarterback in year 3. So, hey, to
Yeah,
the Eagles, shout out. I hope you lose. I hope you lose by 800 points. Let's get it.
that team's good though. Like
No, it's
obviously the trade for AJ Brown is just stupid, like unreal good. And they have Miles Sanders who's kind of fucking killing it with that O line. Is obviously they have 2 All Pros in the O line,
yeah,
3 Pro Bowlers. Like, and their front 7 on the defensive side is like stupid.
crazy good.
Like it's just I don't. It sucks that they're built so good, but like I they didn't play well like at all
No.
Sunday, but like I honestly think they would have won that game either way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put any of the 49ers quarterbacks in there healthy, I think the Eagles still win, but I think it's a better game. But yeah, they're the only weakness they have, and it's not really a weakness, is like their secondary is not the best. But
Eagles?
like, yeah, but it's
They
like,
have 2 number 1 corners. It's more of just safety, realistically.
yeah, yeah. I mean, safety is their only middle linebacker, maybe.
Yeah, but even then, I
But
feel
even
like
then,
they kind of make up for it with Son Reddick on the outside. It's more of their run defense is actually pretty the worst thing about them, which is funny enough considering they're the best rushing offense.
yeah, it seems I don't see the Chiefs winning this game. I see it being close,
Mm-hmm.
like very close in the Super Bowl. But like what the what the Chiefs don't do well, like they're not the Chiefs aren't going to be able to, especially with their number 1 corners done. Like they're I feel like Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are going to go fucking wild on them.
Mm. Not even just that. The only way the Chiefs could really win that game would be running the ball, and Pacheco's pretty good. He's not number 1 good, and even then, they don't have the offensive line for it. They have a good offensive line. They don't have the offensive line or the patience to run the ball like that. I thought we'd
Nope.
see more of it. I mean, we did see more of it with Pat Mahomes' ankle this week, but even then, it was still Kelsey's getting 14 targets, or not 14. He's still getting a bunch of targets. Kadarius Toney got a bunch of big time catches.
Marquez
Yeah,
Valdez Scantling
he got
played
a
his
bunch of
dick
big time
off.
catches. So they're still passing the ball. Pat Mahomes still 326 yards. So they're a passing team. That's what it boils down to. The way to win is they need to be a running team, but they're only a passing team, realistically.
They need some like they need the run game to do like obviously more than it has, but they also need someone like fucking like Juju or someone to have like the game of their lives
Yeah.
if they want to win. Because like they're gonna take away Kelsey, like Kelsey, like they're gonna do everything they can to take away Kelsey, and then it's gonna end up like this game was basically if I can't throw to Kelsey, who's going to be open, and it was fucking Marquez Valdez Scantling every single time.
Mm.
So like he's going to need that in the Super Bowl again if like they want to win. But like their whole fucking receiving core got hurt on Sunday,
Yeah.
so it's like it'll be interesting because I think it'll be close. Like I know a lot of people think that it's going to be like a fucking blowout, and like Eagles are just going to stomp the Chiefs. But like I think it'll be. I don't think the Chiefs don't get blown out like they did in the Super Bowl. That was awkward. But like the Chiefs don't get blown out. Like I don't think that they're a team that's going to lose by like even 2 scores. I think
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like a 3 or 7 point game. Yeah, I fucking said this. The first time we talked about the goddamn playoffs, I said my nightmare scenario is Chiefs Eagles. And of course,
And you already said you're rooting for the Eagles, which fuck you.
I haven't decided yet.
You
I
already
don't
decided.
like.
You already
No, I haven't
decided.
decided. No, I have not. Because I don't like. I have nothing against the players on the Chiefs. Nothing against them. I don't hate any of them. Like Travis Kelce talks a lot of shit. I don't care. He backs it up on the field. He's fucking good. Patrick Mahomes, like his voice annoys me, but like, and I
But you
don't
don't
want him to
like
catch up.
Kermit?
I don't, and I don't want him to catch up to Brady, but like he's not the worst guy in the world. Like I don't care about him. Everyone else, Chris Jones seems like a cool dude, and he's really good. Like that motherfucker was getting like coming in unblocked on like an unreal amount of
Mm.
like times. So like I don't care about them. Like they're okay. Like they're irrelevant to me. Like I don't in my head I don't dislike any of the players or like them. They're just kind of all there.
Well, we'll circle back to that,
But
but
the fucking family of Patrick Mahomes just makes me want
hey,
to
they've been
fucking put
quiet
a
this year.
gun in my mouth.
They've been quiet this year.
Doesn't It doesn't matter. They're not going to be quiet come the Super Bowl, and it doesn't matter if they're quiet or not. I know that they're happy and having a good time, and it makes me angry.
Yet you
Like if I
Eagles fans
after
who
the
won't shut
game,
up about this Super Bowl if they win for the
I
next
know,
20 years.
I know, I'm with you on that one too. And like, and the Philadelphia already had the Phillies, so like they got their one championship run. They lost. They got their one championship run of the year. You don't get any more. You don't get a win now. That's not how it works. You're not Boston. Go away, Philly. I hate. I can't stand Philly
So
fans. But
stand
like
with
I don't
Chief
know.
Kingdom.
Okay, easy now. Easy. I don't want to claim Chiefs Kingdom right now. But I'm just saying. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs because my God, do I dislike Eagles fans, and I have more of a reason to not like the Eagles because the Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but the Patriots never lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs. So
True. But we'll circle back to all of Chiefs because there's a lot to deal with that game. But a circulation thing that's been going around is Brady to the 49ers back home. How do you feel about that?
it's just so like you can't. That it's the same thing with the Patriots. You just got like your rookie quarterback in Trey Lance. If you want that to be, if you like at this point, you have two young, like solid young quarterbacks. If you want to go with Brock Purdy, or if you want to go with Trey Lance, you can go with either one. But if you stick them behind Tom Brady, like I feel like people are going to think that he's just going to grow even more because Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. But it could easily go in the other direction and stunt their growth. Like you can't make them play like throw them in and make them play for a season and then the next season have them sit behind Brady. That's exactly what would happen with the Patriots. Like you can't just have Mac Jones be the starter for 2 years and then make him sit behind Brady. It doesn't make sense.
I agree with you. Uh, I mean, for Trey Lance, I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, just sit. It doesn't matter. Just sit him behind there." I mean, he was supposed to start this year. He sat all of his rookie year, even though he was in and out, kind of being injured. And then he sat, or I guess had to sit this year because of injury. So if he sits next year, we're saying that's 3 years in the NFL. And it's like, oh, that's not that bad. I mean, Jordan Love has sat damn near 5 years at this point. But at the same
He
time,
ain't
where it's
never
like
playing.
you really want this guy to be your quarterback, you got to throw him into the fire at some point. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like Kyle Shanahan's style to go get Brady. I feel like maybe because this loss kind of hurts, where they're like, oh, we didn't have a quarterback. Maybe he go gets him. But I feel like he's 46. Kyle Shanahan might be like, I want a little bit more stability. Not saying Tom Brady's not good. I know everybody's going to misconstrue that. I'm just saying, realistically, that team is built for now and the future. So he may be saying, yeah, it'd be nice to maybe have him for a year, but then we have to go through this whole quarterback carousel again. Let's just see if we have a quarterback. If we don't, fix that. Because that's
Yeah.
basically their missing problem. Another question is, do you think their window is closed? Because for the past, 3 to 5 years, we've been saying they're just a quarterback away. Do you believe the window's closed now because they don't have a quarterback?
I don't think you win a Super Bowl with Trey Lance, and I don't think you win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy.
Mm,
Like Brock Purdy played like he. I don't know if he's actually that good or if it was just the team around him. But like you gotta. I don't know how many free agents they have, but they have so many dudes on their team that are gonna get paid. Like if they don't get paid by the 49ers, they're gonna get paid by somebody else.
yeah,
Like they have too many dudes to pay. But so like they're not. This team's not going to stay together forever, and they're not going to get any other quarterback than Trey Lance or Brock Purdy. So I don't see this team winning a Super Bowl. I think their window is open for the next like year or two, and that's the time to win one. But like I don't see like Trey Lance being the quarterback in his third year, fourth year. I don't see him being the quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
with the players, I think they're actually most of them are under contract. I think with the exception of like Bosa, Tart, I think is gonna be up for contract, and maybe Greenlaw. Maybe like those three guys they need to get set. But even then, Tart, he's a very nice corner or safety. I mean, but he does drop a lot of big time interceptions. I remember against the Chiefs, he dropped one in that Super Bowl. He dropped another one Sunday, and it's kind of costing him. But I mean, he's still great. Obviously, Bosa, he was nicked up Sunday too, but we all know what he's capable of being. Greenlaw still a great outside backer. I feel like I wouldn't say their window's closing, but if you don't figure something out, that NFC, even though it's kind of bad right now, or relatively bad, there's still some teams coming. Like the Eagles aren't going anywhere. Jalen Hurts is just getting started. Offensive line might take a hit because Lane Johnson, we haven't even talked about him, playing on a torn, I think it's hip abductor, something like that. Holding Bosa to zero quarterback hits, zero sacks. He's doing his thing. Obviously, Kelsey's getting up there in years. I think he's in his 13th year. So offensive line may take a hit in the next couple of years, but realistically, the core pieces you need are going to be there. So Eagles aren't going anywhere. What else is out there? Because we still have a lot. Not 49ers. Why'd I say that? Detroit is coming up pretty soon. If Green Bay figures it out, there's a lot of teams that's coming down the pipeline, or a lot of even older teams you could say could have one miracle run. So there's a lot Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers organization have to think about. And unfortunately, I think they will try to partake in the Brady sweepstakes.
It is because that team is so good.
Yeah.
Like top to bottom, like there's so many like dudes on that team. So it might be compelling to Brady that it is a win now because they're not going to be able to play like obviously Bosa, Warner, fucking Troy Polamalu Jr.,
Mm.
fucking Kittle, Debu, and Trent Williams, like all these fucking guys, Christian McCaffrey now,
Well, I
Brandon
think they
Ayuk,
have
like
Christian and Debo because Debo got paid last year, which is why this year was whole, or this past offseason was a whole big thing. Christian, I think he was under contract from the Panthers, and I think they just picked it up. And I think he's got 2 more years on that contract.
so like that's what I'm like. In a couple years, they're gonna have to let a lot of guys walk or pay
Yeah,
out a lot of money. So
and the
it's
thing
like
is, I don't see that team being like a Rams where it's like fuck, we're just paying everybody. I feel like they're gonna be a more normalized team where it's like, nah, we're gonna have to let some people walk and kind of have to restructure a lot of things.
yeah. So like that is the most win now team I see. Like that's in the Brady wheelhouse. Like that team is the if he wants to win like immediately, like the Raiders aren't a win now team.
No,
Like
as
they're
much as
still a
they
couple
think they
pieces
are.
away. The Titans I don't think are a win now team anymore. Like if you put them on the Titans 2 years ago, I'd say he wins a championship. But the Titans now have just gone downhill. And the Patriots aren't going to win as soon as right when Brady comes back. So I think the best chance he has is going to the Niners if he wants to win now because they're in a pretty much win now.
Yeah. It's just, it's wild. Like, how the fuck is this man still playing? Like, go away. Go away.
I don't want him to go away because then like that's like the last piece of my childhood is gone. Because if Matthew Slater and
McCourty.
Devin McCourty both retire this year, then like my Patriots childhood is gone. But if we got what's his name, Brady's still playing, so I'm still a child.
You are not child. You have a
I
big
am
ass fucking beard on your face.
child.
But yeah, that it's just they're in a very precarious situation, which is why I feel like if they won this year, or at least if they made it to the Super Bowl, they could be like, "Hey, we've made it twice now with what we could consider not really our quarterbacks of the future. Maybe Trey Lance is the answer, and we could finally win." But it kind of just sucks for them because now they're like, "All right, well, we thought we had the pieces. We tried basically everything. We have all the pieces there. We just can't make it to the finish line." Obviously, they ran into a really good Eagles team, so there's no faulting them there. It's just, it's tough. It's really tough. It shows you that you could have one of the best teams on paper and still not make it to the Super Bowl. It's not guaranteed.
Yep.
Now to talk about Chiefs, Bengals, and the whole mess of that whole thing.
Yeah, that was a tough watch.
How's your thoughts on? Because before I even let you go, people were saying just this week in officiating was nuts. If we're going from uh, NBA to NFL, where it's NBA like it was rivalry week this week, a lot of blown calls. Then you head into the Eagles game, like you said, there was kind of hit or miss where it's like more of a regular game, but they're still pretty bad officiating. Then you get to this game, which is pretty shit. But
That
I'll let you elaborate on your thoughts.
that Lakers call, that Lakers no call
Oh, don't
is
worry about it. Don't worry about it. We
absurd.
got that coming later. Right now, we're
All
just
right.
talking about Chiefs. That's coming later.
All right. So there was a lot. There was a lot. There was a lot of shit that I saw. So I'm an offensive lineman, so I watch the line a lot. Um, so like I saw like blatant holdings all the time, but like it's not. I don't get as
Upset.
angry when I see holds on the O line because it's never like it's not perfect. There's a hold on every single play.
Yeah.
Like anyone who's played football, especially played offensive line and defensive line, you know the O line holds every play, and it's just whether it's bad enough for the refs to throw the flag or not.
Hey,
So
word to
like
Andrew Woodward, they said the only way to be a great offensive lineman, hold every play
that's what I'm
and don't
saying.
get
And
caught.
then if you get sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't. So like I don't. And there were a lot of holding calls that I saw, and like I was like, that should be a hold, but it's not. And there's a lot of people on TikTok saying that shit. So I don't. Those aren't what bother me. It's like the intentional grounding at the end. I think makes no sense. Like he's throwing the ball in the dirt, yes, but like there's a guy not even 5 yards away. Like there's a dude on a fucking drag coming across the field, and he's like I understand the ball didn't get past the line of scrimmage, and he's not out of the pocket, but there's a guy like in the vicinity. So I don't like, and I hate how they can just talk about it and then throw the flag. Like it's only intentional grounding if they do that. Like if they would do that for like PIs, they like life would be so much easier. But like they don't. They just see it, react, and they move on. But for uh, intentional grounding, it just seems like every time they'll throw the ball 5 seconds, 10 seconds later, they'll have a discussion, then they'll throw the flag. So that bothered me. Then there's the late hit in the end zone by Frank Clark. That was like 3-4 steps. But like that one I think should have been called, but like it wouldn't have mattered anyways with everything that happened. And then those were the only two problems I had. Like other than like the officiating, what
Roughing the passer on that Bengals drive before they punted
problem?
back.
Um, which one?
Uh, I forget. They're basically on their own 10. I'm pretty sure, because all I remember is like the backside shot of it is where obviously Joe Burrow throws the ball, play's already basically done, and I don't know who's coming up the middle, kind of just shoves
Yeah,
him,
that
and
was the Frank Clark one.
yeah, Frank
He's
Clark.
that was three. That was bad. That was 3 steps after like the ball was out and he takes 3 steps and puts a forearm in his chest. Like
Mm,
that was bad. And then like you have to call that last unnecessary roughness at the end.
yeah,
Like he takes 2 steps in the white, and then gets hit. And it sucks for Joseph Asai because that
yeah,
motherfucker was having a game.
he was.
Like it seemed like that D line was getting bodied by that Chiefs O line, and it seemed like he was the only one consistently fucking like
Able to
getting
escape.
pressure and making tackles for loss. It's like, and then he's making what the worst part is that play is like 100% effort. Like he's taken off from other side of the field and trying to cut him off and not let him get the first down. And it's just like it's just a boneheaded play. And that's why and he's a 22-year-old. Like it's not
Yeah,
like it sucks to lose a game on that, but like if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be in the game. So like
exactly.
the people that blame him are they just don't know football. And like they also another thing that this has nothing to do with the refs. They should have been in that fucking game because the Chiefs are driving to go up 2 scores, and then Patrick Mahomes just throws the ball up in the air because he doesn't want it anymore. Like, and if that doesn't happen, because that never happens,
No,
like for someone that doesn't watch football, someone to just throw the ball up in the air and give it away, that never
like nope.
happens.
I guess I don't want this anymore. Who wants it?
That was the most
Free
wild
cookies.
play I've ever seen. I was like, how do you let that happen? I was like, what? So like, if the Chiefs didn't gift you the ball there, they go up 2 scores and you don't come back. Like so. Yeah, well, you were kind of lucky that the Bengals were in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the officiating was as atrocious as everyone was saying. Just because my mindset with the holding calls, it's like it's not the worst thing in the world to miss holdings to me.
Well, like you said, I watched it. Obviously, I was wearing my Pat Mahomes hat for the last couple weeks of the season. And obviously, I wanted them to win for the simple fact of I want them to beat Brady. I'm selfish. I don't care. But obviously, I still want a good game at the end of the day. I'm still a Joe Burrow fan. But realistically, when I was watching it, there was like you said, that unnecessary or not called unnecessary roughness call on Joe Burrow. I was looking at it, and I was with obviously my girl, and I was like, damn. I was like, you could ask her. I was like, damn, they're really trying to give the Chiefs this game. And then what was it? It had to have been the intentional grounding call right after. And I was like, yeah, they're really trying to give the Chiefs this game. They're making this pretty goddamn obvious. And like I said, is there plays that I definitely think they fucked up on? Yes. But I don't think it's as egregious where it's like I don't know how I'm trying to explain this. Where it's like I still don't think those plays amount to, oh no, we're definitely winning this game. Do I think it maybe helps? Do I think maybe they get a field goal and they tie, go to overtime? Maybe. But I don't think it's like, oh, they definitely would have won this game with those calls. And then that last call on Joseph Osai, obviously, like you said, he's their effort guy. He's young. He's doing great. He's doing great. The best person on the day. And he's probably thinking, hey, I'm the only person who can stop him right now. If I do this, we're going to win the game. And he obviously goes out of bounds, pushes him, almost tears his knee up in the same process. I watched that and thought he literally like hyperextended his knee. And then obviously he's heard about it. He's on the sideline, and he's the most hurt about it because he knows that kind of just ruined their season. Chiefs go ahead, field goal, not even go ahead field goal, but 45-yarder, hit it right down the middle. And realistically, the kick, they said it was like 8 to 10 yards long. So like if they didn't get that penalty, maybe they miss. And ultimately, I don't think that really ruined the game. I feel if you're a Bengals fan, you should probably feel cheated for a little bit. I mean, obviously. But I don't think it was that crazy enough to the point where it's like, oh, the scriptwriters really want the Kelsey Bowl or Andy Reid Bowl, where he's playing his former team. I don't think they wanted that. I think it was just an amalgamation of they definitely wanted some calls to be called, and Bengals didn't play as well as I thought they would against not a great Chiefs defense. They let Chris Jones have a complete day against him. And I was saying, give him his respect. He came for it. He came for it. I didn't think they'd leave him one on one that often. Uh,
Crazy.
I don't know how they let that happen. They're
Especially with the game on the line, dude.
exactly, and I don't know. It's just we and I was singing the praises of Zach Taylor this year. He stepped up as a coach, but I think on those certain things, you got to figure that out. You got to make a second half adjustment because in the first half he was having whatever he wanted. You got to go into halftime and be like, all right, on defense, he's the one person we have to stop because we know if we could get past him, we could win. And they didn't do it.
It's not even like the Bengals played well enough to win. Like they didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like you get sacked on the first 3 dropbacks of the game. Like you don't usually win those games. You're not even usually anywhere close to those games. So like the fact that like Bengals fans are trying to say that they got cheated out of the game does not
Compute.
hold any weight to me because you didn't. You just played like shit.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow probably played one of the worst games I've seen him play, and I say that meaning he still was Joe Burrow, but the 2 picks are uncharacteristic. But even then, you still see he wasn't phased by it. He was like, "Oh, we still win this game," which hey, I don't knock him for. That's the type of quarterback you want to throw 2 picks and go, "Yeah, we could still win." But they were kind of crucial, and realistically, like you said, if Pat Mahomes doesn't do that, whoopsies, I guess I don't want the ball anymore. You're realistically not even in the game for those things to even happen.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk about Joseph Asai and that whole thing because that kind of blew up on social media. Them going to the bench, or not to the bench, to the locker room, and Jermaine Pratt, who's becoming a free agent this year, he says the lines, "This is my last fucking year. Why the fuck you touch the quarterback?" Also, I love the way he says quarterback. It's hilarious. I
Yeah,
watched
dude.
that video at least 10 times today. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It will make your day. Why the fuck you touch the quarterback? But yeah, obviously he did come out and apologize, say I was in the wrong for that. I shouldn't have did. It's not his
Damn right.
fault, and I don't fault even Jermaine for saying that. It's emotions are running high. It's going to it's trying to go to the goddamn Super Bowl. You're on the highest of stages. Of course, you're going to be fucking upset. And I feel like the moment just kind of got a little too much to his head, and he was and like I said, he's going to be a free agent. He maybe knows I'm probably not coming back. This is my best chance, and I wanted to win here. So I just feel maybe that's what was happening. I don't fault him. He's human. We're all human. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I fault him.
Damn.
It's just that just shows bad leadership and bad culture, dude. Like this man was the like I said, the best defensive player they had. And like I don't know if the whole game, but the whole fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And like those plays are like again, he was giving 100% effort because Patrick Mahomes was gonna get it was 3rd and 4,
Yeah.
and he doesn't want this guy to get the first down. Like, and there's 18 seconds left in the game. Like the fact that anyone can blame him for like yes, in a perfect world, this guy's running full speed at another human being. In a perfect world, he stops and does not touch him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a perfect world. This guy's not perfect. He is running full speed and then lays out and then shoves him out of bounds
Yeah.
when he's already has 2 feet out of bounds. So, and there's a couple things that could go into that. One, he didn't see.
He also is
I
a
fully
big ass human.
Yeah, he didn't see. He probably didn't see the 2 feet out of bounds. He probably thinks he's still in bounds, running down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's an honest mistake penalty. I think like there was no malicious intent. Like honestly probably didn't know he was going out of bounds, or probably thought he was going to run for 10 more yards. So it's like, especially with a player that young, to have that sort of reaction just like shows me how much of a dog shit leader he is. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good player, but like, he might be a good dude, but like the leadership is just terrible. And like, especially with the way he reacted, like Asai was fucking crying on the sideline. Like I don't know if Jermaine Pratt knows that he's doing that, but like he knows, like Joseph Sahi knows that he fucked up. Like it's not like he's just walking around the sideline like nothing happened.
Yeah, it's not
He
he's not
knows.
like all happy and cheery, being like, "Hey, it's
Yeah,
it's my like second year. I'm happy. I don't care. We made it to
yeah.
the AFC Championship."
He knows. Like he understands that he fucked up and basically ended his team season. He knows. So for you to do that, like makes him feel like he's got his teammates don't have his back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, and if your teammates don't have your back and the media doesn't have your back, then like
you
who
feel
like
alone.
yeah, who has your back? And that's what bothers me about it. You know, like you can easily just keep that shit to yourself and go rant to like your wife or your mom or something like that, or like a teammate in behind closed doors. You know, like I fully agree and understand what's going through Pratt's head,
Mm.
but like there's no reason to do that, especially with this day and age with cameras all over the place and shit. You know, like, but it is what it is. He apologized, so you know.
I would like to also say, teammate BJ Hill, who's also on the D line, was comforting him on the. I don't think he was the one on the sideline. There was another teammate.
He was in the interview.
Yeah, he was the one. He sat up there with him during the interview because he knows how reporters are going to be. BJ Hill's been in this league a while. He knows how they're going to interview. They're going to be like, "Oh, how do you feel ruining your team season?" That's probably going to be
Mm-hmm.
the first question. So he's there, and basically him going, "Oh, you don't need to answer that question. Don't worry about it." Like that's what, as like you said, culture
That's a
shit.
good
I think
teammate.
it was more of just that's why I don't think the culture shit, because I think as long as Joe Burrow's been there, the culture has been great. I think it's just more of it was just a bad moment because, like you said, if this was because this probably happened all the time in like the '90s and '80s, but at the same time, we didn't have to worry about cameras being literally everywhere 24/7,
Yeah,
having a smartphone at your hand just to be able to record it. No, you had to think about, maybe there's reporters outside there, but in here everything's good. So like I said, if you were to have done this behind closed doors, or I mean, like you said, if you were done this behind closed doors, we would have never known about it. Maybe in 20 years when they're both done with their careers, they talk about it, fine. But to have it out in the open like that to make him feel super alone, I don't agree with that. But like you said, he did apologize. Hopefully, all things are good between them. But yeah, it sucks for him. Obviously, he's young. He's not trying to end his team season. If anything, he wanted to be the game winner. He wanted to help them make the Super Bowl, propel them to that. But yeah, also we
and there's
did miss a play that has people pretty riled up in that game.
the
Both third and
fucking
nine.
the no play,
Yeah.
the no play. Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. I don't have anything like it's just that ref should have done more to try to stop the play.
mhm.
Like he should have fucking been flailing arms, throwing hats, fucking throwing flags, anything. Like, but the fact that fucking I don't know how many refs are on the field, but every ref but one
I want to say
is
8 or 9.
so so 8 out of 9 refs are just going with the play like it's happening, and both teams are giving 110% effort, like a usual NFL play. That's what bothers me. Like that guy should have been. I know you can't like they couldn't hear the whistles, like which is weird to me because I heard every single whistle that night, but that one I didn't. So
True.
fucking it's weird. That's weird if he was either not blowing his whistle or not blowing it loud enough because I heard all the whistles, and he should have been doing everything in his power to fucking to wave that play down. Obviously, it eventually didn't really. I say it doesn't mean much, but it does because that give it knocked like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes more off the clock, and it the punt now that the Chiefs like because the argument is well the Chiefs ended up punting anyways, but that's like 20 yards of field position
Yeah.
now. Like they started at like the 7 at their drive, which if they punt at like their own 20,
You're
then
getting a pretty
the
nice.
Bengals, the Bengals are going to start at the 25 or 30. So it's like that's the big deal to me is like the field position game there.
Like you said, I don't really have any thoughts on it because it's probably one of the most perplexing things we've seen in football
Yeah,
in a while, where it's like you said, you don't hear the whistle. He should have done everything in his power to try to stop it. And it's what I mean. And this is what kind of gives credence to people saying, oh, well, it's all just a script, because that does look real shaky.
it looks
Like,
bad.
like even as just a resident football fan, you look at that and you go, that doesn't look right. You look at that and go, maybe they really do have a script where they want certain teams to make it. And it's just wild because it, like you said, it gives them a free play, gives them field goal position, and it's like, yeah, well, they still punted. Just that probably fucks up the Bengals going, well, oh, well, they don't want us to have this game anyway. It sucks because refereeing is really screwing a lot of things. I know I said it didn't make the biggest impact, and I still don't think that, but certain plays like that probably rest on players' heads and makes a big impact. Because you don't know
Yeah,
what a defensive lineman could be like. Dude, we were just off the field, and now you do this. Now we have to be on the field longer. You never know, and you never know. But to talk about officiating, oh boy, do we have a problem in the NBA? And unfortunately, it's with our Celtics.
yeah,
Hold on. Before I ask you this, did Jason Tatum foul?
yeah,
All right, all right.
yeah. Well, I don't understand how they didn't like the ball leaves his hand like it's been blocked, but he touches foot and it's like he was so far from the ball.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't it amazes me. Absolutely amazes me.
The craziest
Like
thing
I
is
can't
if you
believe
look back on the picture, like you see the two other judges, but you literally see the judge that's supposed to judge the from the free throw line to the basket. You literally see him looking at the play, and he just goes, interesting. That's a Jason Tatum's got some real nice. What? Oh,
it
there was a foul. Damn, my bad, Braun. My bad. Damn,
wasn't that
now
bad.
he's over here screaming. Fuck. Damn, the NFL's gonna be so mad at me. God damn it.
Dude, LeBron's like reaction was fucking unreal.
It was that's
I
what I
was
mean, because
so
like I
crazy.
was watching it and like in fast time you could see that I fouled him, but it didn't look as egregious as like if you really look back at it. And when I saw the reaction, I was like, damn, like calm down, relax.
Yeah, I was like, you look like a child, like right now.
Like I've never seen like LeBron. I'm not even the biggest LeBron fan. My dad hates him with a passion. So to see him like that in the most professional sports star I've ever known to be the most unprofessional in that moment.
Yeah.
But I can't even blame him because for the past, I think they said 4 games, they've literally done the same thing to him. We talked about it, I think last week, the Russ play where Joel Embiid literally has his hand on Russ, so Russ tries to go up to show that he's being fouled, and they just go, oh, out of bounds, 76ers ball. They have that one. There was another foul on LeBron. And I think that also just amalgamated into all, like, we have guys like Stephen A. Smith, Skip, Jalen Rose, whatever sports media you could ask. Say, Braun, just take it down the hole. Stop trying to pull up and shoot. He finally does it. When all this time he doesn't do it because he's like, they're not going to call the foul. So what's the point of me going there, getting fouled, and then getting berated? So he's like, I finally did it. I finally did everything everybody asked me to. And I get fouled. And the same thing I thought happened. I don't get the call. So looking back on it, I could see why he's having that reaction, because it's like, I'll equate it to a relationship where it's, say you and your girl are having fights just about stupid shit, and you're not saying anything. And then eventually she could be like, Evan, you didn't put the cereal away. What the fuck you mean I didn't put the cereal away? It's going to boil up, and then all of a sudden it's like, it wasn't even about the cereal. It wasn't. So I can't completely be mad at him because I was looking back on all the calls. They were completely egregious. This one being the worst of them all. And even Jason Tatum knew it. Like, Braun posted after, he's like, "Oh, good, good block," posting all the emojis, and then Jason Tatum goes, "Yeah, the last 5 minutes were a blur. I don't even know what happened for real. Like Stevie Wonder out here. I don't know what's happened."
Yeah, that was I did see a thing on Twitter that said there was 5 missed calls in the last 2 minutes of the Lakers Celtics, and 4 of them were like 4 of them benefited the Lakers,
Yeah,
and 1 of them benefited the Celtics, and the one was that one at the end. But like that one was so
it
bad.
was
Like
egregiously bad.
like I can't even like begin to understand what was going through like the ref's mind, any ref's mind that didn't call that. But hey, man, a dub's a dub. Go
I'll take it.
C's.
A win is a win.
Mm-hmm.
But I was listening to. I think he was like a college ref, and he was trying to explain it. Where so you have 3 refs, and you have the back one that guards from I think 3 point line. I want to say 3 point line to free throw line. He watches Braun get the ball, and basically he's in the back, so he's watching it basically like head on, like as if he's a bystander, and he could still see the block. But he's what they call a crew saver, where it's like that guy that was just looking up, admiring Jason Tatum's hair. If he didn't call the whistle, gives it like he's supposed to give it like 2 ticks, and he has to call the whistle because it's supposed to be no, there's a foul, and he didn't do it, which is what's so concerning. Because
Yeah,
fine, the first like
it's
we're
just
human, I get it. So maybe that guy, like I said, maybe he was admiring Jason Tatum's hair. Maybe he was just like, damn, that's really LeBron. LeBron's like that. He's really winning me my parlay tonight. But and maybe he saw that and he was just his mind went poof. But that back judge has to say something because you in
one of
this
them, bro.
like you look at the picture and all 3 judges are looking at the same thing and don't say anything, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like even as a Celtics fan, it's so nuts because I'm pretty sure that the lead ref, the one that gave Pat Bev the tech. Oh, we gotta talk about Pat Bev. Apparently, whenever he is ref the Celtics this season, he is 27-2 in Celtics favor. Guess where his daughter goes to college? Boston. I'm
Go
not
C's.
saying it's a conspiracy, but it might be a
Go
conspiracy with this
C's.
one. And Pat Bev, oh my God, this has got to be.
Okay, that is a tech though.
It is,
What like you deserve a tech for that.
but to be
Like it's
fair,
funny.
I could respect why he did it.
I think it's hilarious, but you get a tech. Like, like it's just it is what it is.
Honestly, with
That was
LeBron's
funny.
reaction, I'm surprised they didn't give him a tech.
Yeah, he was screaming in every which direction. And then I thought it was a little dramatic when he was laying on the floor.
Yeah,
Like I thought I was like, all right, it's a bit much. Like I'm not a LeBron hater, but I also don't love
yeah.
LeBron. Like he's there.
I mean, you're a Boston fan, so it's kind of
Yeah,
harder to like him.
yeah.
He's just
So like
around.
the reaction, I don't like think it's bad, but like when he's laying on the floor,
Yeah,
I'm
when
like,
he's
all right,
just like, oh,
yeah,
God, Lord have
you
mercy.
got to play overtime. Get the fuck up. Like
But and uh, so God, there's so many layers to this. It's literally like a fucking onion. So more news is pouring out, but about the Pat Bev stuff, the reason why he showed the ref the camera was I guess he was looking around. He's like, "Oh, you got the shot of it," and I think that cameraman is one of the fit like has the actual shot of the ref looking. That's not the one that's out. That's a obviously cell phone camera, but it literally has a shot of the ref looking at LeBron getting fouled, and he's trying to show the ref, be like, "Nah, y'all fucked up," and gave him a tech, rightfully so. But at the same
yeah,
time, it's like it's kind of fucked up that the ref could mess up that bad, not get any punishment for it, but Pat Bev's getting punishment for trying to show him, and we both agree he deserves a tech. But what is the NBA going to do about this blown call? Because this was on live TV, not just every game's live. This was on prime time TV, prime time to end rivalries week, and no ref's going to get any punishment for it, or they're going to be like, "Oh, we'll move you
that's
down
bro.
1 game." What is that
They
going to
they
do?
need to they need to start
Finding
like
them.
I don't. They need to start fining or suspending without pay something, dude. Like it needs to like they need to start like having consequences for these refs. Like they're like it'll never get better,
No, because if anything,
especially
it's
like
snowballing.
because we saw what would happen if fucking Joe Schmo's like ref the NFL with the fucking replacement refs, and it was the fucking worst season ever. It was the worst half of season ever, and like So refs know that the leagugues need them.
Mhm.
So like they don't give a shit.
No,
They don't care if
they're
they blow
emboldened.
calls or fucking not. Like they're getting paid regardless. Like it's just they need to the NBA, the NFL, like need to start. They need to start fucking fining these dudes or suspending them or something. Because like the MLB and like the MLB is going towards the umpires being out of the game. Like
Really?
they're going to fully electronic strike balls and strikes, like robots being first base, like saying outs or safe. You know what I'm saying? Like NHL, I feel like is like their refs are pretty good. Like
I feel like we never hear anything about that.
yeah, like that's like a
Maybe
thing that
like
I
every
feel like
once in a while, but it's never like, oh, this cost them a championship.
yeah. So I fully I fully believe that the NBA and the NFL have a problem, and they need to start like finding or doing something that means like that shows the refs that they mean like business, that you have to do a good job.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I don't know. It's just like you said, they're emboldened where it's like the NFL or the refs know that the NFL and NBA know that they need them. But since the NFL is just like, oh, well, since we need you, we're not going to punish you. They're like, oh, we'll make any play. And what's even worse is like, I kind of hate this new report that's coming out like at the end of every game, being like, oh yeah, there was this foul. No shit, that last call was a blown call, and for the refs to apologize, it's like, I get it, we're all human, but when it's that obvious, you got to do something. It's not like, oh, he's out of position, looking away at something else, looking at a different action, or like just every judge happens to be looking away. I'd be like, all right, literally nobody saw it. But like you're telling me, three guys are staring at this play, go no call, and then have the gall to be put in the report, be like, yeah, that was a foul. I could never show my face again. I could never show my face again.
It's it's like it's your job too. Like if anyone else like fucked up at their job,
That bad.
the amount of times refs fuck up at their job, they'd be fired immediately. Like if you work at a pencil factory and
And
you
you make a
break
Sharpie.
70 pencils a day, you're gonna get fucking fired. Like I don't like it's just not. I just don't understand why like refs are special. Like we need to like you need to be treated like everyone else. Just because you have power, fuck them.
And we've already seen like what's that guy's name? Chris Donahue, the NBA ref that was banned on games. We see they really do control the game if they want to. So maybe like we said, maybe they did have a ploy where they're like, nah, we need Boston to win this series or this one against LeBron. Maybe we never know because refs have their own. I think they have their own union and stuff like that where it's like maybe they do have coalitions where it's they're thinking, oh, we could just run this league because they kind of can because
They
they have
can.
absolute
Like,
power in a way. They could if like how early in the season Jason Tatum got a tech for literally clapping. It seems that some refs are just if they have it out for that one ref that every time Scott Foster, who literally hates CP3, is like, oh, anytime he refs a game, he's like, you're not winning. I don't care. You could have a
simple.
virtuoso. You're
Win-win.
not winning. I will make sure of it. It's disgusting. It really is as a basketball fan. But to get off refs because refs are always going to be a problem, unfortunately, because they are human. And if we made it AIs, we'd still find a way to be upset about it. We
Yep.
got Chandler Parsons talking about LeBron's reaction. Did you see this quote?
Did not.
So I want to see if I could find the exact quote, but it's pretty fucking gnarly. Obviously, you're a pet owner.
I am.
Oh shit! Broncos hire Sean Payton live,
Wow. Wow.
especially considering Vic Fangio is not going there. I'm pretty sure he's going to the Chargers, I believe.
Kellen Moore's on the Chargers
That's
too.
what it was, which pisses me off. We're not going to talk about that.
The
My
fact
team's in
that
shambles.
yeah, the
We're
fact
done.
that Kellen Moore didn't get a head coaching job is just stupid. But whatever. Like he leaves
I feel like
the
it
Dallas
was just a bad
Cowboys.
year because everybody wanted Sean Payton first.
But like why are you gonna leave the Cowboys then?
I think they parted ways.
I know, but like why?
I think
Like
I th-
you
I
gotta
think
figure.
I think Cowboys are just screwy where they're like, oh, we wanted. Wow, a lot of stuff happened while we were potting. D'Amico Ryans is head coach of the Texans.
Yeah, I saw that.
I did not see that. What?
They're still gonna be
You're getting
bad.
our live reactions right now, but
Sean Payton will be. That's that. I like it.
I love it.
I like it.
I
I
want to
like
see
it,
Russ cook this year. Russ better cook this year.
bro. That defense is gonna be one of the best in the league. Like they
That
were already
team is
really
going to be
good
one of
this
the
year.
best. They're finally actually going to make like a run.
That'll be something. That'll be a good.
This division is going to be great. You got Pat Mahomes. You got Brandon Staley still a coach, but you have new OC hire in Kellen Moore for the Chargers. And now you have
You might
Sean
have Tom
Payton.
Brady. Might have Tom Brady in Vegas.
Not gonna
That
lie,
would be sick.
off season's already looking pretty nuts. But I don't even know how we transition to NFL. But goddamn, where is this tweet? This man, what the fuck?
Hurry up, sticks.
I'm trying. I was not
Did
ready for this.
you see Kayvon Thibodeau and Staley's beef?
I saw something about it, but please inform me while I find this.
Well, Kayvon Thibodeau's just I don't like him no more. I never
He's
liked him, but
pissed
like
me
I
off
thought,
ever since he did that thing where he was doing the snow angel by
yeah,
Matt Ryan while he's down on the ground. It's like,
yeah.
dude, you know he's hurt. Come on.
He said during the 49ers Eagles game, he said that the Giants look better than the 49ers, like something along those lines, and you know, uh, Staley, the Hall of Fame left tackle for
Yes.
the Niners.
First ballot Hall of Famer, by the
Yeah,
way.
like fucking great offensive lineman for 15
The
plus
sad thing
years.
is, I think I know where you're going with this.
Um, he said something like you're like an average player that gets bodied by, or you're a flashy player that gets bodied by average tackles.
Mhm.
Like basically tell him to shut the hell up. Like
Yeah.
you're not that good. And then Thibodeau says, "Who are you?" Like some straight up bullshit to a future Hall of Famer.
That's the weakest
And
argument I've ever heard,
yeah,
man.
and Staley said back to him, enough for you to respond. Congrats on your 4 sacks this year, unreal numbers,
Damn.
which is just fucking awesome because Kayvon Thibodeau is good,
He is
but
good.
he has no fucking respect for
I think
anybody.
it's also the New York
That,
thing where it's like,
yeah,
I feel it's kind of like the Odell syndrome where it's like, you're, I wouldn't say he's the king of New York, especially on that team, but I feel like you're in New York, you're emboldened, you guys made it to the playoffs and you guys beat a good team in the Vikings. So I kind of feel like he was like, oh, I know what I'm doing in this league. It makes no, like, you want to say it to Joe Schmo on the corner, not Joe Staley. Joe
no,
Staley is a easily first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best in this generation. So him saying that is nuts. Shit.
yeah,
Be humbled. Be humbled.
it was just
Do they
unreal.
play him next year? The 49ers?
I don't
If
know.
not, one of Joe Staley's friends, hey, go humble him. Please.
Which is, I mean, he's not even wrong, bro. He's fucking
He's not wrong.
like he did. Obviously, Thibodeau's a rookie, so like he still got a lot of time, but like he didn't have a great year.
But I did find that tweet. And yeah, this is gonna get pretty gruesome. Just letting you know. He
And
goes,
you said I'm a pet owner. What am I gonna get offended?
maybe. He goes, and I quote, I can watch my French bulldog get ran over by the mailman right now, and I
Oh
would not
my
react like that.
Oh my god, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
So that is the most out of pocket shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life, dude. Like, why even say that? Oh my god, that's
That's why I brought up the fact that you're a pet owner. Obviously, you have multiple cats. I have a pseudo dog.
oh.
I, that's so, like, you just don't, somebody take his French bulldog away from him.
Dude, someone's got to take that dog.
All of a sudden, all of a sudden, that mailman's looking like, bro,
Dude,
why you putting me in like that?
like there's no correlation. Like I don't like a, first of all, a lot of people would react like that and worse
All
if
right,
they witnessed their fucking dog get ran over by a
before you go
car.
on your spiel, like I said, I have a pseudo dog. It's Kendra's dog. It's not mine. But I feel like if that dog would get ran over and I were to be there, I'd be in tears. I have not cried and I dead ass. I don't remember the last time I cried. That shit might make me tear up a little bit.
Dude,
Like that shit's fucked up.
I, I would I, I would be throwing hands
Exactly.
with anyone in my path if I watched one of my cats get run over by a car. Like, and I have an old cat. I've had my cat Orion for 15. Well, he's 15 years old. I think I've had him for 13 years.
Ryan's 15.
Yeah, he's old as fuck, dude. But like, if I like, and I grew up with that motherfucker, dude. That was my childhood. If I watched him, I'm causing some sort of genocide on someone. Like I'm gonna be very upset and I'm gonna react like that. Like I don't know if Tyson Chandler just like doesn't like his dog or something, but like man,
I mean, Chandler Parsons.
Chandler Parsons,
Yeah,
yeah, you said that. I don't know why you said that.
but
That's fucked. That's so fucked.
somebody take his French bulldog away. This man don't care about his dog. All of a sudden, we're gonna be like, yeah, where'd your dog go? It got ran over. I think that man killed him.
Yeah, got
I
ran
want him
over.
in
Don't
jail.
care.
I want him in Mike Vick jail. Like low key, I'm gonna say it right now. I think that's worse than what Mike Vick did. Sorry,
I don't
sorry,
I don't know about none of that.
sorry.
Mike Vick like actually caused harm to dogs.
He wants to cause harm. This man is dreaming about his
Yeah,
French bulldog getting ran over, and it's like,
yeah,
I'd be fine.
but like the
I wouldn't
thing
be
with
like that. Trust me.
it's
I'm
like,
like that.
but
I'm
he
like
didn't he didn't do it though. Like Mike Vick actually did it. Like I'm Mike Vick's changed man. I was a big fan of returned Mike Vick,
Mm,
but Atlanta Falcons Mike Vick was a monster,
yeah.
and
But
that was
to finish off on this, Chandler Parsons, what did you
you
think when
need
you were
help,
saying
dude.
this quote?
Oh
Like, you
man,
gotta be outside of your fucking mind to say
if
this and
he
think people are gonna resonate with this.
yeah,
Because
dude.
I hear some people being like, I think people are taking out of proportions. Dude, you literally just said I could watch my dog right now be ran over, and I'd be like, damn, tough. Guess I gotta call the vet. All right, well,
if he
I mean,
wanted, if he wanted,
I guess football's on. I guess I'll go do that. Like, dude, that's fucked up. What is wrong with
if
you?
if he wanted to get a laugh, he succeeded because I'm laughing. But if he
I thought it
wanted
was a
me to
fake
relate,
quote.
I can't. I just can't do it.
This man's sick. This man's diseased.
That's just fun.
Because
Oh,
let me take you through my process. So I was listening this morning just about it because I knew it was going to be on everything. So I was listening to Stephen A. about it. I was listening to just kind of every media publication about it. Then they were like, "Oh, Chandler Parsons said something." I was like, "Oh, well, I know he's not the biggest fan of LeBron, but he probably isn't going to say something that crazy. He's probably just going to be like, oh, I'd never react like that. He's being a crybaby." And then I heard it and I went, "Oh, they definitely got the quote wrong. They definitely did. They definitely did. They definitely were like, oh, they saw this like fake Chandler Parsons account say this thing, and they're like, oh, and they took it. And no, this man said this.
this man said it.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's absurd. That's absurd. Like you need to get your Twitter and your dog taken away from you. Like
Please,
that's one of the more absurd things I've ever heard in my
that
childhood.
might be quote of the year already. Not in the good way,
No, absolutely not.
but damn. Whoever right now has ownership of Chandler Parsons' French Bulldog, please do not let him see his father.
Get it to safety.
Please. I will personally pay you just to not let him see him, even though Chandler Parsons has way more money than me and will pay you off even more. But with that, fuck Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Fuck refs. Even though there's nothing we could do to fix it, realistically. I don't have a solution. You don't have a solution. Nobody has a solution. That's why they're still like this.
The only thing that they could do is start punishing them, bro. That's it. That's all I can say.
And I feel like they want to, but I feel like if they do that, they're going to set the precedent of, or they feel they're going to set the precedent of, oh, well, we're just going to call every game bad then. Then we're not going to give a fuck. Or it's like, or they're going to, I don't know. Then I understand they have to think about what they're doing before they do it. It's just, if there's any game to start doing stuff to refs immediately, this would have to be the game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And with that, that is today's episode. Lots of just crazy quotes and just wild stuff. Let's just say
A lot of wild
it
things.
was a really weird week. It was a really weird week. Celtics
Interesting.
still playing like shit. Jason Tatum still inconsistent. I called him my MVP, and then he started playing like shit again, which sucks.
They'll figure it out.
But yeah. Any last words?
In my eyes, this football season didn't happen.
An F. I give it a C. I was gonna go C minus. I'll give it a C. I'll give it a C.
I just can't. I can't with the Eagles Chiefs. Can't. Just can't. Don't want to do it. Can't do it.
Oh, before we sign off next week, we will have a complete show of just greatness, where I have to watch you choose between the Eagles or the Chiefs, or should I say Eagles
That's,
or my homeboy.
I'm gonna have to like fully think about this. Like I have to take this whole week to think about it.
Oh, you'll be trying to drink Gatorade before. You'll be like, yeah, I'm actually not going to be there today. I quit.
Might have to.
But with that, that is another episode of Unruly Podcast. Make sure to follow us on all socials. It's Unruly Podcast on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever the fuck you want. Search it up. Even if it's not us, make it us. Make us a fan
Yeah.
page. And with that, we're gone. Bye.
See ya.